Coming up on today's episode, guys, I'm going to do a follow-up video for tips for social interactions. Stay tuned. Hi guys, and welcome back. So today I'm going to do a follow-up video from a video I posted previously called Tips for Social Interactions. That video has now received over 380 views, so I feel like there's definitely an interest in doing some follow-up videos to that, and that's what I'm going to do today. So as you guys might have noticed, the world is really tailored for an extrovert, and if you're an introvert, you really struggle with confidence, with entering into social interactions in large groups, maybe meeting a potential new employer, maybe meeting a new friend, maybe meeting a new potential partner in your life. So this video today is going to help you with some small tips that you can use in your day-to-day life that are going to help you become more of an extrovert. So as most of you know, I'm a huge extrovert, so it's very easy for me to kind of get out there, take on new challenges, meet new people, enter into new social groups. But for people who are introverts, it's very difficult for them to do, and it's not easy. And a lot of times they lack direction. They're not really sure what they should do because a lot of times they're so shy, or they lack confidence or self-esteem. So it's very difficult for them to break into a social setting. So through these videos and through my YouTube channel, that's what I'm working on. I want to work on things with people about having better body image, or having better self-esteem, or having more confidence. Positivity is key, those kind of things. So I'm going to give you a few tips, some things that you can use in your day-to-day life, and this is going to help you integrate a little bit more so you can get some of that extrovert that's inside on the outside. So the first thing, guys, is just start small. I don't expect you to run out the door and enter into a large group of strangers and expect to interact with all of them and find out who they are and them to find out who you are. But you need to start small. So if that's just even going out with 2 or 3 of your friends into some sort of social environment, and maybe they've brought some friends that you don't know, or maybe you're sitting near people that you don't really know, then this is the time to interact with those people. Interact with people you don't know. Don't only talk to the people that you've gone there with. Say things like, hi, how's your day? How do you know so-and-so? Those are kind of ways to just make small conversation and in a very small setting. That way you have control of what's happening and no one is kind of taking that away from you. So my first tip here is start small with these social engagements. Another thing you can do, guys, is chat with strangers. So a simple way to chat with a stranger to engage conversation is ask someone the time. That's a great icebreaker. It usually will open up conversation because that will continue on more than just them giving you the time. They may be saying, how's your day going, and those kind of things. So definitely practice, chat with strangers, use the example of asking what the time is, and just see what happens from there. Another thing, guys, is you might enter into a group of people where you find that 1 or 2 people in the group talk a lot. So don't get overwhelmed by people who talk too much. We always assume that people that talk a lot kind of think that they know everything and they know everything about what they're saying, but that's not always the case. So never get intimidated by that. Some people are just talking because they love to hear the sound of their own voice. It's like music to their ears. So that's okay. I mean, if they want to talk a lot, if you can get in there, engage with them on maybe something that they're talking about that you were interested in, then that's great too. But certainly don't be overwhelmed by them. Just remember that just because they talk too much doesn't mean that they know a lot of things. So yes, so don't get overwhelmed with that. There's usually going to be someone within that group anyway who's going to be able to speak to you kind of on a pace that you're comfortable with. So just keep that in mind. Another thing you can do, guys, is learn to act like likable people. So what does that mean? Well, smile a lot. That's really important. A smile creates warmth. It creates an invite. People respond very well to someone who's smiling, so make sure you smile a lot. The next thing you need to do is make sure that when you're speaking loud and clear so that everybody in the group understands what you're saying. When people are talking to you, make sure that you ask them questions. That way they know that you're following the conversation. So another thing that likable people do is they ask open-ended questions. So that's a question that doesn't require a yes or no answer. It just helps keep the conversation flowing, so keep that in mind. Open-ended questions are awesome. Another thing, guys, is don't be afraid of silence. Sometimes when you're talking or interacting in a group or you're talking one-on-one, there may be a time that silence does happen, but don't be afraid of that. That's okay. Sometimes we're just absorbing what we were just talking about, we're digesting it, we're taking it in, and we're thinking about our next thought. So silence is okay, and as you engage in more conversation, you will find a happy medium there. You will find that silence does become a natural thing, and it's okay, so don't be afraid of it. So another thing you might notice is sometimes people say, oh, I can't talk to people unless I'm relaxed. Sometimes I have to, smoke a little marijuana, or I need to have a few drinks so I can relax, so I can engage with people. Well, the trick here is to turn off that censorship that we have within ourselves, because if we can learn to turn that off, we don't have to use things like marijuana or alcohol in order to get us to relax in a social setting. So that takes practice, but if you can turn off that auto self-censorship, that's a great way to also help you engage in a social setting. Another thing to keep in mind, guys, is that people are usually less judgmental than we often think they are. People are kind of dealing with their own issues, so they tend not to be passing too much judgment on you. So that's not in every case, but for the most part, you're gonna find that most people are not judgmental. So don't worry about what they're thinking about you, because they're probably not thinking anything about you. They're probably thinking about what's kind of going on in their own life while they're interacting and engaging with you. So don't be intimidated, don't be feeling shut down by that. Again, people are kind of caught up in their own things, they've got their own issues, and they're not as judgmental as you think they're going to be. So another thing, guys, is find a hobby that's social. So what do I mean by that? So maybe you like acting, maybe you like singing, maybe you're a musician, maybe you like to make quilts, maybe you like to garden. So there's groups in your neighborhood, in your town, in your city. Look for them, reach out to them, become a part of it, and through that you're gonna meet people as well, because it's gonna be natural, because you guys are coming together because you all have a common interest in a social hobby that you enjoy doing. So that's a great way to meet people. That's a great way for you to feel comfortable talking to people when you're shy, because you're going to be talking about things that you're both interested in. So definitely look for something like that in your area. So if public speaking is an issue for you, then check out your local chapter of Toastmasters. Toastmasters meet once a week. They're just regular people like you and I who get together and they practice public speaking on each other. So that's a great way for you to do something public speaking in a very small setting with people who are not going to judge you, because those are people who are there trying to be comfortable with the same thing that you're looking to do. So look for the local Toastmasters chapter in your city. I guarantee there's one there. The last thing I want to talk about here, guys, is smile. Smiling at people is the best way to break the ice. It creates a sense of warmth. It creates a sense of, hey, I'm interested in who you are. I'd like to know a little bit about you. So if I can give you any piece of advice, start right away with a smile. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have not already subscribed to my channel, please click the subscribe button down here. Also, make sure you give me a thumbs up on this video, and make sure you follow me on Instagram and on Facebook at Sean's Magical Odyssey. And we'll see you next time.